How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Blackrock had a record amount of buys yesterday, and the ETFs in general are accelerating their buying. A lot of people were worried yesterday. I'm sure you weren't, but a lot of people were that Bitcoin was going to crash to 50,000, 40,000, 30,000, 10,000. Some people said it was generous that we stay above $10,000 and we're going to fall to $2,000 or $3,000. And we're almost right back where we were yesterday at the peak. We're a couple $1,000s away, much closer to 69,000 than 59,000, which is the range that we saw yesterday. And that's because BlackRock continuously is bidding this asset. Let me talk about it today, and we'll talk about some altcoins too. I mean, Ethereum hitting new multi-year highs, almost at $4,000. This is crazy. And it's expected. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this one as soon as I make them. There's also a link down there to Margex. In case you want to trade cryptocurrency on leverage, this can be a great tool in your arsenal during this bull run. When we move up, typically that's a good time to long the market, and we are going up a lot recently. So as long as you don't get too crazy with the leverage, you can make a lot of money from this. And there's a 20% deposit bonus with the link underneath the video. And if that's not your bag, baby, there's a link underneath the video to CoinW where you can buy spot cryptocurrency. Now, you can see here, we saw massive volatility yesterday. So let's just measure this out. From peak around 69,200, just a few $100 in the new all-time high, we fell down 14.2%. And that was over a few hours. Now we're almost all the way back up. Since that point, let's see, we probably moved up about 14%. Yeah, since that point, we've moved up 14%. If you didn't know, when you fall down 14% and then go back up 14%, it doesn't get you in the same spot. That's how the numbers work. But we're almost back to where we were yesterday. And keep in mind, this is normal. We usually fall 20%, 15%, moving into new all-time highs. There was a miner, too, that had mined 2010 Bitcoin and then dumped at the new all-time high. So good for them. They held 14 years, and then they dumped about 1,000 Bitcoin, so they made $69 million. So good for them. Good for them. They took profits. They waded through many bear markets. They deserve some cash. But they are selling going into a massive bull run. And, who else sold yesterday? Small wallets. And not, I shouldn't say small because some are 10 to 100, but smaller wallets. 6,244 were sold by 10 to 100 Bitcoin wallets. Some were sold from the 1 to 10, then some 0 to 1. So net, they were selling anyone under 100. They shedded their Bitcoin. And who did they give it to? The large wallets. 100 plus Bitcoin swallowed up 11,882 Bitcoin, and the ETFs bought too. So it is important to realize that some of this being sold could be sold to buy the ETFs, but some of it's definitely just to get rid of it, just because they're freaking out. Newer people that are in on the market. You can also see BlackRock bought a record amount of Bitcoin. This is like 30% higher than they've ever bought in the past. 12,623 Bitcoin. This is after a pretty good day on Monday too. So they bought a massive amount. We saw a massive amount of inflows overall. I think it was actually the highest inflow day overall as well. This is with Grayscale still selling 300 million plus a day. You can see 8.5 billion net inflows into Bitcoin ETFs since they were approved. And look, this gap between the Grayscale outflows and the ETF inflows is widening. Like, we're seeing an acceleration in what the ETFs are buying. I said this in a video yesterday. This time is different. You're not going to see how much money is coming to Bitcoin until it's right in front of you. Like we knew a year and a half ago, Fidelity, BlackRock, they're applying for Bitcoin ETFs. But now it's right in front of us, and we can see they're buying $500 million of Bitcoin every single day, and it's relentless. It is relentless. They keep on buying. They don't care if the price goes up or down. They continue to buy. And we'll see that today. Most likely we'll see another big inflow day. Now, it's impossible to know because we're not even seeing the volumes yet. And yesterday was the first day of real volatility. But do you think the BlackRock advisors, or do you think advisors in general are going to look at yesterday and say, I'm okay. There's a little bit more volatility than I wanted yesterday. I'll just sit this out. I'm not going to sell it to my clients. No, they're going to get in on it. They're going to keep on pushing it because they make money and because this is an asset that can continue to grow exponentially. And when that happens, their AUM goes up exponentially. So we're going to continue to see inflows. And this isn't going to stop because of some 14% dip. Now, BlackRock has a certain allocation they want to get to, and then they'll probably want to add more to that allocation. We just saw a few days ago, I think it was the day before yesterday, that BlackRock was including their Bitcoin ETF in a strategic opportunities fund for income. So they're adding it to more funds, so they're going to buy it in more places, which means, they have to go, literally go chunk a bunch of money into these Bitcoin ETFs. Say they go 1% in a that fund that they had is a $36 billion fund. They chunk 1% in there. Okay, that's $360 million extra that they have to buy that day. Or if they spread it out, that they're going to have to add that. Now, what if they do 5% over time? Well, they're buying another $1.5 billion. So this is how the price goes up this cycle. Relentless buying from large entities. Some people will try to FUD you out. You can see Whale. I talked about this in the video yesterday. They were trying to FUD people, saying nearly 11% of the market value of Bitcoin got shedded. And Whale said that they think that we're going back to 60,000, 50,000, 40,000, and even 10,000 long term. And then made another tweet that $2,000 to $3,000 is really like a fair range, and that this was too generous, this $10,000. There are going to be people that FUD you out like this, and they did their job, right? They caused the price to go down even a little bit more after it was 11% down. They got it to 14% maybe, along with some shorts being liquidated or some longs being liquidated. And I say they did their job because obviously what they're trying to do is just freak you out of your crypto, probably to buy more themselves, right? They know long term the ETFs are buying and buying and buying, and they know that the price is up, but they want cheap Bitcoin. Or they're just trying to get more people to like and comment or rage bait. They're trying to get views, trying to get money, or they have no idea what they're talking about because they're obviously not that bright if that's actually what they think is happening. Now, moving on, there are some altcoins that are moving up. Now, keep in mind too, we could see more volatility. Just because we moved up doesn't mean we can't fall back down. Like we could get rejected again at 69K, go down to 64K, 63K, who knows, right? We could see that, but there's relentless buying. So I'm not worried. I'm not sitting here shaking in my boots thinking, man, I really should have taken profits. Like I knew that we could have hit, or I knew that we could have dropped when we hit new all-time highs. That's exactly what we did, right? Now, we got a little bit over leveraged, some of us, obviously. Personally, I got liquidated out of one position, a newer position. All my other positions look fantastic. Like, take a look at this. 446% up on my Ethereum long. Like, this can be used for good. A lot of people go like 100x leverage on meme coins and stuff like that. Now, there are some coins I'm looking at. Obviously, Ethereum has a big narrative ahead of the Dankun upgrade, ahead of a possible ETH ETF. So I am watching Ethereum. It's making a nice move now. It's actually outpacing Bitcoin over the last 7 days, the last 30 days, the last 24 hours. So there is a bit of a narrative there. So I like it. Solana was up at 142 yesterday. It's at 130 today. With Ethereum running, maybe we see a little bit of rubber band action where ETH and Bitcoin move up. Solana is like not quite moving up yet, and that shoots up. So we could see that. There are some meme coins and some smaller coins in general that I'm watching. So Syncus is one that I've talked about a handful of times. It's DeFi. It is borrowing and lending. And look at this. Yeah, 20% up on the day. If we just look at the 1 month, it's absolutely nuts. It's up 10x. And I've been talking about it since back here. If you haven't looked at it already, you can buy it on Uniswap. It is in the higher risk part of my portfolio. And to be clear too, you can stake and get high rewards. Now, typically that comes with more risk. If you do want to stake, there's a link underneath the video, and there's a code that you can use to get 15% rebates. So I appreciate that. It does help out the channel as well. There's also a crypto that I'm watching called Just the Tip. There are so many meme coins on Solana doing well, and Just the Tip is doing quite well, actually. If you look, it just launched yesterday. It was a fair launch, and it's gone up like 700%. It's at $1 million market cap, so pretty small still. 69 million total supply. Only 254 holders right now. But I know the people behind this, and they've done well in the past. Of course, always do your own research. Like we're talking about penis joke meme coin right now. Like just know what you're buying here. It is risky. And then there's also some news from Aether too. Aether Games, I've talked about this a handful of times. They have their token listing tomorrow, and they just announced that Bybit is going to launch them with a generous prize pool of 70,000 USDT. So they actually broke some records over on Bybit Launchpad. I think this could be a big listing as well. But of course, always do your own research. Like these are higher risk cryptos that I'm talking about here. And you can definitely stay lower risk if you want. You can just stay within the top 50, top 100. But if you want those 100x gains, you're probably going to have to go outside of the top 100. And 100x gainer can make up for all the others that don't do much. Now, of course, always do your own research. I appreciate it. If you want to just stick with Bitcoin, I get it. Bitcoin is an awesome asset, just an awesome asset. And there's so much buying happening from these big ETFs. It's going to be a crazy bull run. Now, we're going to see volatility. If yesterday was too much for you, well, the Bitcoin price is a little bit higher today if you want to sell out. I am happy to buy your coins off you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Check out the links to Margex, CoinW. If you want to stake over on Syncus, there are links to that underneath the video. There's also a link, I didn't talk about this earlier, but there's also a link to HGAalgo, which can tell you bearish and bullish momentum signals, and it hooks up right to your TradingView. This can be super helpful if you're trying to determine, like, okay, which way is the market heading? Is there bullish momentum or bearish momentum? And then also it can give you indications for when you might want dollar cost average into the market as well. So definitely check that out underneath the video. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.